Hi everybody and welcome back to the KK Zone. As always, I am Kara Kaufman and I'm coming at you on Sunday evening, March 7th. Although by the time this comes up, it's going to be Monday, March 8th. So it's another day of spring training edition, fun things going on around baseball, and I have to say, the more spring training games I watch, the more this whole situation reminds me of Whose Line Is It Anyway? You know, the game where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Very much seems like in spring training this year, everything is made up and the points don't matter. I feel like in previous years, you would watch spring training and it would seem like a regular baseball game, but with lower pressure and a lot more replacements coming in throughout. This year kind of feels like they're making up rules on the fly. And that's fine, because the points don't matter. They never have mattered. But it keeps blowing my mind as I'm watching, and just new things are happening that I didn't think were possible on a baseball field. I already talked about how we watched in the Orioles game a pitcher get pulled, replaced by a different pitcher, and then brought back. That was weird. They also have these rollover innings where if a pitcher has thrown too many pitches, they can just end it after 2 outs. He can just be done and then come back like nothing happened. The fact that they're calling it a rollover inning is confusing though, because the batting team doesn't then get an extra out in the next inning. It's not like your rollover minutes from your cell phone where if you don't use them, they go on to the next cycle. Those outs that aren't used don't go on to the next inning. So rollover seems like a bad name. But anyway, another weird rule. So I thought if we're going crazy anyway, why not add some more fun rules and make it really bonkers? So I was thinking I watched Miguel Andujar hit the first pitch softly to right field for an easy out. Well, the point of spring training is to get the guy reps, right? If we're pulling the pitcher early to protect his shoulder but letting him come back up to keep pitching, then for hitters, if a guy makes an out on the first pitch of an at-bat, shouldn't we let him take the next at-bat too? Why not? Doesn't make a difference. All our scorecards are a mess anyway with all the gajillions of players coming in and all the position swaps, so why not give the guy who flew out in the first pitch another at-bat? Pitcher still got the out, inning still progresses, but the same guy gets to see some more pitches. Why not? And then I thought, why not let some guys not play the field and just hit? I know that's a DH, but other guys. And then that happened today. Today, a rule I thought would be funny to talk about, and this actually happened in a real game with Jay Bruce. He was the extra hitter. Was that? He was not playing the game originally. He then came in and played left field. He then got pulled and someone else, but Trey Ambergy, I think, went to left field, but then didn't bat. Instead, Jay Bruce still batted. This is the reason that I don't start scoring spring training games until later on, because I, like everyone else, need to get my skills back up to speed as the baseball season starts, and jumping into scoring a spring training game, it's like going from never running to doing a marathon, because it's just, everything is bonkers, the rules are confusing, and so many guys play that eventually you end up filling up your entire card. So, anywho, that's that. And then also, as to the other half of that little Drew Carey-ism, and the points don't matter, I keep on saying these games don't matter, but hello, earlier this week, the Yankees played a game against the Phillies that they lost 15-0. In the regular season, I would be capital M mad about that. That's a pretty embarrassing loss, but frankly, my only takeaway was that the pitching was not great on our end, and the only person, in fact, who did not give up a run in that 15-0 drubbing was Lucas Letke, who I mentioned earlier as a guy who looked surprisingly sharp, who I'd never heard of. Well, that's two. Two for Lucas. He threw the only scoreless inning in that 15-0 loss. That was pretty cool. And then you know what happened literally today with Lucas? He threw an inning and struck out the side. So my question to all of us is, when do we have to start paying attention to him as an actual bullpen candidate? I don't know the answer to that, but I feel like kind of maybe soon, because 3 exceptional innings while early in spring ain't nothing. So keeping an eye on Letke, because, he's opening my eyes at least. Go figure. Okay, and on to another couple of very quick things that made me laugh this week. One is, alright, so I am a softie for mascots. The Yankees don't have one, and that's okay, I get it, we're too classy for that. But the ones that are fun are really, really fun. And I love him or hate him, he's very divisive. One of the biggest mascot characters in baseball is the Philly Fanatic. First of all, what the heck is he? He's some kind of green bird alien? Unclear, but he loves shenanigans, so spring training just feels like the perfect environment for the Fanatic. And thanks to Sarah Langs, who is a fantastic follow if you don't already follow on Twitter, this photo, guess the Fanatic was actually working the camera. So apparently he has some skills beyond mascotting. He can actually take some live footage of baseball. Hey, that's a way to make yourself useful when you can't be on the field, Fanatic. Way to go. Multi-skill mascot. We like. Something else I enjoyed this week. The Yankees played the Tigers, and the Tigers have a very exciting young prospect, Spencer Torkelson. He was their top round draft pick, I think, last year, and he was in the lineup. He looked really good at third base, but prior to that, he was in the headlines last week, the week before, because of an injury he sustained that kept him out of camp for a couple days. And you know, I don't like to mock other players' injuries. It's not nice. We hate when they get hurt, but this one was pretty funny. So I don't know how many of you guys play out of the park baseball. If not, I recommend it. It's an awesome simulation that gets really deep, and you can play a season as your favorite team or a different season as a different team. You can do any manner of things. It's very powerful. But amongst the things it does when you're playing is it simulates real life, and as such, players get injured. But some of the injuries in out of the park baseball are incredibly outlandish, and so much so that they seem fake. I mean, they are fake because it's a computer game, but they seem crazy. And then things happen in real life. I'm thinking of Cespedes and the horse injury. I am thinking of Blake Snell dropping a marble statue on his foot injury. These are the kinds of things that you're like, oh wait, these really do happen in real life. I guess it's not so far off after all. So this was another one of those that seemed like it was straight out of the park baseball. Torkelson and some of his buddies who he was living with in spring training really wanted to make something. They were cooking and they had a can, they had to open it, but there was no can opener in the Airbnb they were staying in, so they decided to try to improvise, and needless to say, it did not go great, so he ended up cutting his finger and needing stitches. This is goofy. He's fine now. He played last week, so I can laugh at this because he's fine, but like, poof. That's when you, as he said, well, went to the hospital, and then on the way back, we just picked up a can opener. Guess I learned my lesson. So, lesson learned. Use a can opener. If you don't have one, maybe you should get one. Seems like an important kitchen tool. But that was fun. That was a fun spring training thing that would be more annoying in the actual season because a guy would actually miss time. But during spring training, we can just say, kids. And now who gets props this week for the Yankees? Well, I have to say, some of the pitching has been real good. Tyone looked good. Herman looked really good also in his first action in quite some time against Major League hitters. And then today, Jordan Montgomery also looked very, very sharp. So this is exciting. This is the question. The Yankees really need starting pitching. Those three all looking good. Oh, and I should have mentioned Davy Garcia too. The kid's great. He got a couple home runs hit off him in that insane loss to the Phillies. But despite that, the breaking ball looked really sharp. He just missed location with a couple fastballs. That's what you expect during spring training. So all these guys looking good is the most important thing that I'm looking for in spring training, so yes for that. And on the home run honor roll, Clint Frazier hit one this week. Gleyber Torres hit one. We love watching Gleyber Baby hit homers. And today, Brett Gardner came up with the bases loaded and hit a grand slam. So, never sleep on Brett Gardner. And those are my favorite highlights from this week from the playing side of things. And one of the biggest stories from this week was Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager. If you recall from last episode, we talked about how he got a pacemaker implanted, and it took everyone kind of by surprise, but all went well. So this story just tickles me in so many ways. Obviously, first and foremost, most importantly, Aaron Boone is doing great. So that is obviously the thing we care about the most. But the way this all went down, so as we know, it was not exactly expected that this was going to be an operation that was going to take place at this time. So he went into the hospital to have this done, and I guess the Yankees have a Zoom every day with a lot of their staff to sort of strategize and plan, and Boone zoomed into this meeting from his hospital bed. Talk about dedication. Everyone was a little taken aback, but he explained the situation, and as Brian Cashman later said in an interview, Boone put him so much at ease he wished he could explain it in the same way Boone did, because then you'd all feel just fine. So that's pretty awesome. There's a special skill for you. Do an interview from your hospital bed and make everyone feel better about things. I do not think I could accomplish that, so major props to Aaron Boone. He also, because of course he hadn't gotten to tell the players, he filmed a video message and sent it along to them, which they said was kind of jarring because they didn't know that was maybe a possibility, but that also seeing him explaining to them in his own words in a video made them all feel a lot better. And like any nice person does when they receive a nice video message, the players made one back. I think that's really fun. And as you would expect, the ringleader of this effort was Brett Gardner. Yep, he makes sense. He's the longest tenured Yankee. He's a big jokester, but also kind of the heart and soul of the team in a way. Seems like he's one of the guys that is a real leader in that clubhouse. So when Aaron Boone was later asked about that video, he smiled and he said it was really great to get. And he specifically commented on some of the wise comments the guys left for him at the end. which makes me smile because this is baseball to me. You're friends, you're worried about somebody, you want to make sure they're okay, you send them a video message, but you've also got to make sure that you don't come off as being too sincere, so you got to get some cracks in towards the end. I would love to know what those were, but I think that's delightful, and the fact that it made Boone feel happy is all that it was meant to accomplish, so well done, team. But wait, there's more. So Aaron Boone said the second he got out of this surgery, he felt immediately a lot better than he felt for the previous months. So that's crazy. You go in and you have a casual heart-adjacent surgery, and you come out feeling great immediately. Modern medicine, you guys, it is unbelievable. How lucky are we to live in a time when that is possible? So then, of course, he stays overnight at the hospital, goes home the next day, and what does he do? Oh, he goes to the ballpark. Of course, he can't actually be in the ballpark because COVID protocol. So he went to the parking lot, took the COVID test, went home, and he's back managing the very next day. Unbelievable. I mean, the guy's amazing, but also doctors are amazing, and procedures we can do nowadays are amazing. And he already seems infinitely more energetic and happier. So this is a fantastic story, and I am overall thrilled. Between the humor, the banter, and the actual feel-good, happy health story, which we all need in this particular year, yay for Aaron Boone. Welcome back. So he has been officially removed from the whiteboard of doom, which is always good to see. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up, but before I do, I just walked in from the other room. My roommate and I were watching the NBA All-Star Game a little bit on and off, and I have to tell you guys, this is the first time I ever watched the NBA All-Star Game. I'm pausing for your horrified reactions. Okay, but it's because I haven't really been a basketball fan until this year. Now I am. I'm a Nets fan. We can talk about it offline. But I was watching the NBA All-Star Game, and in addition to the ridiculous amount of talent on the court, which was super fun to watch, I was looking at all these different special skill competitions they do, and that is so cool. And it got me thinking about the baseball All-Star Game, which I always like to watch. It's fun to watch stars play. And the home run derby. We have a home run derby, which is a delight. I mean, who doesn't love to watch sluggers slug? No one doesn't like that, so that's a huge winner. But I thought, what else could we add? Baseball players have so many skills, and I know some of them are kind of hard. You can't do a dunk contest and three-point contest. It's hard to find such obvious cool things as the NBA has, but I think we should try. So here's a couple of things I've thought of. So we know power is on display at the home run derby, but what about control and precision? I say take some of your best contact and bat control guys and put them up there, have a bunch of cardboard cutouts, our favorite thing, all over the field, and see how many they can hit in a certain amount of time with a batted ball. That's fun. And that's target practice. How about the pitchers? Give them a sharpshooter contest. Let's set them up with a non-real batter at home plate to avoid any semblance of possible injury, and set them up very specific little targets that they have to hit. That's fun. It's like that story about Satchel Paige where he threw a ball into a knot hole that was just bigger than the size of a baseball. Let's see if anyone can do that. That's a great idea. And we can't forget about defense either. What about we do a double play dazzler situation where guys have to try and turn the slickest, coolest double plays, and they get points for stuff like a behind the back or a cool barehanded scoop. That'd be cool. Or also, we love speed. Speed kills on the bases. Can we do something with a stolen base bonanza? Not sure what the rules would be, but I think I would watch it. These are my thoughts. Do you have other thoughts? Leave some in the comments. I feel like we can make the All-Star Weekend even cooler with lots more skills contests because people think baseball players aren't great athletes, and they're wrong. Baseball players are great athletes, and I feel like we should showcase that because it is fun. And that's what we're here for, all the fun. Okay, that's gonna do it for me today. I will leave you with a quote from Jerry Ross, who wrote the lyrics for Damn Yankees, and in honor of our captain, that quote is, "You gotta have heart." Aaron Boone has heart, and now his heart is working better, and we're all super happy about it. So that is it. Until next time, go Yanks.